Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is October 17th, and I am back after my technical glitch. You know, honestly, I don't know why these computers feel the need to keep shooting flags up all over the place and asking you questions that you've already said you don't want to be asked. But in any case, my fault. I hit the wrong button at the wrong time. But what I decided to do just really quick, it's just I pulled out the 3 cards that this reading ended with. So the long and short of what I said yesterday, I'm going to do a short one today, but the bulk of what was said yesterday boiled down to this. He's in so much trouble, he doesn't even know how much trouble he's in. I'm talking, of course, about Giuliani. Other people in positions of power, so the Pompeos, the Barrs, the Mulvaneys, them, are not going to hesitate one iota to throw him under the bus. Trump probably will get around to doing the same thing in a short while. But he's in trouble, like big trouble. So this was the last 3 cards that got pulled in his reading yesterday. The 8 of Swords, looking kind of like imprisonment. Don't know if he's going to jail or it's an imprisonment. Well, certainly it's an imprisonment of his own making because he's an idiot. But it definitely shows restriction. It shows, not being able to move the way he would like to be able to move. No maneuverability. A great deal of worry and stress. Anxiousness, anxiety, restless nights, as he starts to realize that he is not the Pied Piper and he is not the golden boy of the Trump administration. He's going to get stabbed in the back, and he's going to get stabbed in the back a whole bunch of times. So, come on down. We're going to try this whole Giuliani thing again today. But like I said, we're going to do a short one because there's a couple other things I just want to touch base with. So come on down and let's take a look at what's going on with Giuliani. So I'm going to insert these cards randomly back into the deck. And we'll give this thing a couple of really good shuffles. And what I want to see is just really basically what kind of trouble is Giuliani in, and what do the consequences of that look like, or are there consequences? Is he going to be able to skate out of this, or is he going to get sort of nailed to a wall? All right, so Giuliani, present, future. Giuliani, present, future. Giuliani, present, future. I'm just going to move this mic closer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So he really does. He's another one like Trump who thinks that, he's his own best messenger. He, his marketing savvy, his political savvy, his, PR savvy. He just thinks that he also is the best there is to relay his message. Part of the reason that you don't see him jumping on board to get himself a lawyer to help him out of this stuff, because he would also be a really difficult client who wouldn't listen because they think they know better. The pressure is mounting up. The worry is mounting up. It's not going to go well for him. It's not looking like this is a good situation every single day. It is announced that there is another investigation going on. I think yesterday it was announced that it's counterintelligence investigation going on. Aside from the other, I don't know, what is it, half a dozen other investigations that are going on. And make no mistake, Barr has the power to have stopped this stuff or slowed it down at the very least. He's not doing that. So what is that telling you about his motivation? He is perfectly happy to throw this guy under the bus to save his own butt. Unfortunately for Barr, that's not really going to work out that way. But here's Giuliani believing his stories. The thing about Giuliani is that he presents as if he has confidence and he knows what he's talking about. And, okay, I mean, until he starts with the crazy rantings. But he has a way of presenting so that any of those clips that get sent out to the Kool-Aid crowd, they're going to see him making very, very forceful, if completely fabricated, statements. And that's the circle that he travels in. It's like, on some level, he knows that there is no dirt to find and dig up on Hunter Biden, but he has sort of convinced himself that if they just dig enough, there will be enough dirt. And there's Toby in the corner of the screen, in case you're wondering that dog's name. Sorry, his name isn't Toby. His name is Skittles. Toby was a dog that I lost many years ago and I adored. I guess maybe he's hanging around somewhere. Okay, that's Skittles. Okay. Giuliani is at some point, he really, this card is about sacrifice, self-sacrifice, and that allowing you to maybe see things differently. And that really, really is what he thinks. He actually believes that this mission that he is on for Trump is like his mission. It is the most important thing in the world to him. He sees that as his reason for being. And as I've said several other times, his drug of choice is relevance and money. He needs to feel relevant. He needs to feel that people listen to what he has to say, that he, wields authority, that he carries a big stick, that people who carry a big stick admire and respect and like him. That's what goes on with him. So what's happening currently is he slowly, he's starting to recognize that those in power within the government are not going to stand behind him. They are not going to support what he was doing and the assertions he was making. So now he's starting to get a wee little bit concerned, wee little bit worried, because this is not exactly unfolding as it should. And while Trump has said a few nice things about him, he has also started to be a little bit wishy-washy. And of course, anybody who's paid attention to Trump knows that those are kind of danger signs, right? As soon as he becomes wishy-washy about, how wonderful you are, you find yourself sort of in a place where maybe you're not so wonderful to him anymore. Yeah, okay. Oh my Lord. He really thought that he could create an alternative truth so that he could then go into the good graces of, Trump, and more importantly, sort of the whole political Republican circle. And, that would make him the anointed one. That would make him the messenger, the man who delivered a great victory for the Republicans. This was what was going on in his twisted little mind. He wanted to be that hero. He wanted to pocket a whole bunch more money to secure him. And he honestly thought that he literally could just create a brand new story. You've got, offers being made to him that he's not going to like. I don't actually, at this point in any case, seeing significant deals being cut with him. But we must remember that he was so high up in that inner circle that if he can be gotten to flip the only person left for him to flip on is Trump. You know, there's a retreat indicated, so I'm not sure if that means actually a physical retreat, whether that means he's just going to go silent for a little while, although heaven knows that would be a shock. But there's definitely some pulling back. So, you know, okay, well, you saw I shuffled them. You saw how random it was when I put them away. He now has the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords. And of course, we started out with that Nine of Wands. So it's sort of like I said yesterday, it's not a good situation for him. I mean, it's really, 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 really not. All right. Now, as I'm shuffling this, or putting this all back together, there's a couple things I want to just touch base on. First of all, please join me if you are inclined in sending love, light, and prayers to Elijah Cummings' family, friends, co-workers, constituents, the people of Baltimore. I think I have that right. He was a man who gave generously of his time and his public service. He is a man of great wisdom, great common sense, and great commitment. And Washington is a much sadder place today because he has gone home. So we're grateful that whatever physical difficulties he was having, whatever health issues he was having, he is now freed from that pain and suffering. But we will sorely miss that kind of pure energy in Washington. So there's that. Second, from New England, New York, Maine, sort of up that East Coast, you guys are getting hit with something called a, God, it'd be nice if I could read my writing. Something called a cyclone, a wind cyclone, something like that. Honestly, I cannot read my writing. But there's a weather, like sort of a weather bomb coming down. High winds, a lot of rain, that kind of stuff. So for my viewers and subscribers in that part of the United States, take care, be safe. And I'm sending you just a little bit extra protection so that you are helped to stay safe during this rather significant weather event. Okay. And I haven't heard lately how the fires are going in California, but we're going to continue to send our thoughts and our cooling energy and pray for rain out there. So, okay. I want to take a look at I think, at the GOP. Like, what's going on with them, right? I mean, they're yelling about, what Trump did in Syria, but they're actually not doing anything forceful and constructive that can actually turn this thing around. They're just this, oh, we're going to do sanctions. Oh, we're, officially telling the president we don't like what he did. Oh, we're doing, they're not doing anything, okay? There are things that could be done literally with a phone call and, do the things that need to be done. I mean, for goodness sakes, you sent Pence out there. What good is he? So what I'm going to do is I want to take a look at Pence and Pompeo and Barr, and I want to look at them sort of as a triad. Yeah. I want to take a look at Mulvaney too. Okay, so maybe what I'm going to do, sorry, I'm a bit scattered. Maybe what I'm going to do is I think I'll look at Pence and Pompeo, and then I'll look at Barr and Mulvaney. Okay, so we're looking right now at Pence and Pompeo, and we want to know what's going on with them. Current Pence Pompeo, current Pence Pompeo, current Pence Pompeo. Okay, so they are, they're in Turkey right now, trying to convince Erdogan that he shouldn't be doing what he's been doing, which is ridiculous considering this man has been trying to sort of find a way to do what he has been doing for years. So I don't know why they think, a present or a visit by these two yo-hos is going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. They're there on a mission basically to try to steer Trump out of really hot water and get him into calmer ground. They're well aware of the fact that the world is watching, and the world is far from impressed. They are now in a position where they are trying to fight back and push back, and they're not going to be successful in that. The illumination is too bright. There's too much attention. There are too many pieces that are fitting together between, Turkey and the impeachment and Ukraine and Russia. Like, these pieces are fitting together as part of a bigger picture about the things that Trump is trying to do for Putin and even for Erdogan. So, there's that, okay? It's not a good situation there, and frankly, they're not going to really be able to resolve a whole lot of anything. They're not going to be victorious coming back. They can't stand the sunlight, okay? They just cannot stand the sunlight. This is the thing, okay? Right now, the truth is coming out. It is demanding justice. Those people who are on the defense have every, reason to be defensive, because what they've done is so egregious that there are no words. And eventually, these two are going to end up left out in the cold. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that they worked really hard. They were trying to literally twist the truth. They used every dirty trick in the book that they could find. And, oops, not so good. So you have wheels of fortune, negative wheels of fortune changing for both of them, in part because they tried to dance with the devil, and in part because they sold their soul to the devil, okay? So they're kind of getting a double whammy for simply not staying true to anything close to their own kind of moral compass, to the oath they took, to the country they serve, to the people they serve. None of that means anything to them. These two men were both incredibly power hungry. And as far as I can see, they're not going to come out of this. They're not going to escape this unscathed. I would not be surprised if at some point there is even significant talk of impeaching the two of them. Will that happen? I'm not so sure. I think that if they, in some ways, I think the better outcome would honestly be if they were found actually guilty of federal or state crimes. That might be helpful. So we'll see. We'll see how that unfolds. Okay, and let's look at Barr and Mulvaney. Mulvaney sort of was flying under the radar there for a little while, last, handful of days. But you know what? He's not flying under the radar anymore. There's more and more information coming out. He was the one who had to stop the money flow. It was his department that had to stop the money flow. And then as chief of staff, he was also the one giving a lot of people orders and telling them what to do and telling them that they wanted, Trump's wishes carried out. Because, of course, Mulvaney never, not from day one, did he have any intentions whatsoever of trying to restrain or control Trump. His attitude was, let Trump do whatever Trump wants to do, and I'm going to sit here like a benign lump on a log, and I am going to just facilitate whatever crap he wants because I'm going to fly under the radar. Well, guess where that got him? That got him into a big pot of boiling water. And Barr, honestly, sometimes he has so corrupted himself that I'm not even sure how he's going to dance out of this. I'm really not. Okay, so let's look collectively at Barr and Mulvaney. Barr and Mulvaney, Barr and Mulvaney, Barr and Mulvaney. Yeah. With every day, with every passing day, more and more comes out. Every day, State Department officials are, testifying against Barr. They end up testifying against, Pompeo. It sort of starts with Pompeo, and then it moves to Barr because Barr wasn't doing the criminal investigations that were turned over to him or requested of him. And Mulvaney, because he knew a whole lot more because he was perfectly comfortable stopping that payment to Ukraine. So they're all in it. And, again, this sense of, we can force the truth. We can change the minds of people. We can control the narrative. No, you cannot. That time has come and gone. And what has gone on is so blatant. It is so disrespectful. And now it has been amplified by the fact that Trump then did another thing that was incredibly stupid, which was allowing Turkey to move into Syria because he pulled back American troops. So perhaps even what maybe a tiny bit of his motivation was just to cause a distraction from the impeachment hearings and the Ukraine story / Russia. If maybe he thought that would cause enough that it would suck out the oxygen out of the impeachment story. Well, guess what? All that happened is the two stories are now continually on the front page in the news. You can't almost escape it because it is so egregious what he has done in two different ways. And the Republicans have completely lost sort of control of this narrative. There's stuff overseas that is not good. It's not good. We've got a major decision cards here. So I guess the question is, who rats out Trump? Do either one of them rat out Trump in an attempt to save their own skin? Can tell ya, both Barr and Mulvaney are giving it serious thought. Serious thought, because at this point the writing is on the wall. Those are another two that you will hear talk about should or should not they be impeached. And again, if it is possible to find something like a law, federal or state, that they have broken, that might be sort of a little more meatier in terms of going forward. But we shall see. There is... Yeah. Okay. Perfect. They thought they were so strong. They thought they were so tough. They thought they had control over the situation. They were celebrating behind the scenes at how how clever they are and how politically savvy they are and how, they're in like Flynn, excuse the pun, with Trump. And this is what it's bringing. It is bringing destruction. It is bringing ruin. And it is bringing a complete loss of whatever they held on to before. So whether that was position, power, dignity, I don't know, but it's gone. Okay, so thank you so much for bearing with me as I sort out my technical glitch issues. I'm hoping this one is awesome and it's going to be uploaded in a few minutes. Until my next video, which should be tomorrow, take care, be well, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.